Anyway, here we go. Oh, yeah, we're back. We did it, Vandy. It is episode 2, week 2. We have successfully stayed on schedule. What's up, everybody? This is Sonic Saturator. I'm Aaron C. Schroeder, and I am joined, hopefully, as always, by my dearest good bud and fearless side host, Vandy. Vandy, how you doing?
Schroeder, should I say we will be together forever? Because
in my
it's
heart,
pet
you
sounds,
live
baby.
On. Yeah, it's what?
That is the theme this week. We're diving into pet sounds, or
yes.
should I say, our interpretation of pet sounds.
Yeah. And so, okay, so right, the theme was picked for us last week via the Great Big Brain. That's what we're gonna call our system. And I've just decided that.
There you go.
And yeah, we got pet sounds. I'm curious to know how you interpreted that. I'm slightly scared we interpreted it the same way. I tried to be kind of kooky with mine, but
I feel like we're going to be safe. You know, pet sounds, like, in fact, makes you think of domesticated animals, right? But I
yes.
agree with you, Schroeder. I do have a feeling today's episode might get a little wild.
Interesting. Okay, because I'm going to give away a little bit of mine right now, just out of the gate. But it's not really giving away any of mine, which is that there was one where I was looking at where I went through the motions of like pet sounds. Obviously, dogs, cats. People own gerbils. People have iguanas. There's all kinds of things that you can do with this.
For sure.
But then I kind of started thinking a little bit more wild, and I started thinking animals, and then I'm going, well, maybe I'm going too far away. I know some weirdos own lions and tigers and bears, oh my, but
oh my.
That's not really a pet.
I was only aware of one Tiger King.
Yeah, but okay. So to get back on track, last week, we decided to go one for ones on our track ones from album ones.
That's right, debut albums, first tracks.
To this, because it's called Pet Sounds and it's more digging into our brains.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's necessary to go one for one. It might get kind of in the muck, because mine gets a little in the muck.
In the muck. Welcome. Well, the animals do like to play in the muck.
Yes, that's right. They do like to play. So how do you feel about going about it? Should we just do you go first, I go second? How do you want to play?
Yeah, let me...
Chunklets?
You know, I'll just say with my list, depending on the song, reflects how I interpreted the theme that time. There are some tracks on my list where it's like very on the nose. This is clearly about someone's pet. There are others where there's just a pet-related theme within the name or the name of the title of the track, that type of thing. So each track's going to be a little different for me.
Right. I was there too, where what I started realizing was like, oh gosh, I'm getting like chunklets of like 3 and 4 songs because and I'm gonna peek into your brain now that you've given me a secret as to how yours works.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I was looking at was like, oh well, George Harrison has this song about Eric Clapton's dog. You know, that's a vibe. Did you put that one in? Maybe that one showed up in your playlist. No,
it's not on there.
But anyway, okay. So yeah, I was thinking, if you want to go first, go through it.
Yeah.
Chunks, I can work with chunks as well.
I honestly appreciate the back and forth. I think it's fun. It breaks it up. It allows us to just, keep the banter flow going, and I enjoy it.
Okay. So then in that case, if we want to break it up, if you want to, because then you can do your chunks, right? Where it's like, sometimes it's about other people's pets. Sometimes it's about.
Mine's just kind of mixed in there. That's just how I went about selecting those tracks.
Okay, and it's
not
but it's not like
necessarily in that order.
Yeah. Dig it. Okay, then, because mine is, well, maybe I think we should just go ahead and tell each other what we chose, honestly, because
what
I don't want to keep talking about it and be vague at the same time. You know what I mean? So
I think we should just jump in, dude.
Okay, so then you get it started. How
totally.
How did you interpret pet sounds?
So again, just
Let's get a little
broad
bit closer to the mic.
broad paintbrush of
Yeah.
interpretation there. Again, I think I'm going to start us off just right on the nose so we can just dive right into this. You know, we're going to talk about pets today. Some are furry, some are not so furry. Maybe you have a lizard. I don't know.
I've always been weirded out by people who have lizards.
Schroeder, maybe one day we might be pets one day. And that's a sentiment that's expressed in this track.
What? What
which
is
is
it?
called Pets by none other than Porno for Pyros.
I almost picked this as our opener song.
Hey, we're different but same.
That's right, baby.
Yeah, so folks, if you don't know Porno for Pyros, you've probably heard of Jane's Addiction. So Perry Farrell, side project Porno for Pyros. This came out in about 93. Just delightfully weird and delightfully poppy. So catchy, such a good groove. Revisiting this track, something that stood out to me is the sound of the snare. You hear that?
Interesting. Yeah. Cracky.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also like pretty I feel like that's a pretty signature sound for that time period as well.
I gotcha.
At least in the like Chili Peppers have kind of a similar snare sound at this era.
I feel you. Yeah.
It's poppy, No Doubt, big time, had that snare sound. But, the thing I get confused about with between Jane's Addiction, Porno for Pyros, now that we're in the guitar solo section, is this Chris Cornell or is this a different guitar player? I forget which band
you're
he
thinking
was
of maybe Dave Navarro.
Thank you. Yes, not Chris Cornell. Thank you, Dave Navarro.
Rest in peace. But yeah.
Yes, I can't believe I confused a beautiful
of
angel with a stupid idiot.
No, Dave Navarro's not a part of this one. I don't know if you saw the news not too far long ago, but Jane's Addiction was on tour and had a little onstage tiff, if you say, and they had to cancel the tour and that type of thing. It was pretty, I was like, all right.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the TikToks of that. I think that was a minute back, right? It's been about a year or plus.
Probably so.
Tragedy on the big stage.
Yeah, dude.
Also, though, people might not realize this. Perry Farrell.
Yeah.
Right? Thank you. I'm already
founder of
getting name wrongs.
Lollapalooza.
Yes, he started Lollapalooza. That's awesome. Right. I wonder what he thinks about it now. I saw a video of him around the same time backstage at whatever Lollapalooza it was. And it seemed like he was just going through the motions. I didn't feel like he felt connected to it anymore.
Yeah, it seems like it's definitely a different vibe. I think it's hosted in just 2 cities every year, or maybe just Chicago.
I think it's just Chicago.
Just Chicago.
I think.
I remember the days when it was a tour, much like it was before Van's Warped Tour, but that's kind of what started that wave, I kind of think. And I remember being very upset. I grew up in the Houston area. Yeah. It was the second year of Lollapalooza, and it came to play, I kid you not, my county fairgrounds.
Yes, and, I remember this.
And I happened to ask a family member who was on the board of the fairgrounds, like, hey, can you, I know I'm 12, but can you help a brother out with a ticket to Lollapalooza? He looked at me like I was crazy because, I was 12.
Dang, was it really that long ago? Because I honestly remember, I thought I was putting the memories of Lollapalooza when I was like a freshman in high school.
Oh, no, sir.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's pretty back there. All right,
it's way back there.
So I went with On the Nose. It's literally called Pets, but I enjoy the track. It's fun.
It is. My turn?
It's your turn, Schroeder.
Okay. So here's how I decided to do it, which is that because, like I said, I kept having all these trials and tribulations while trying to put the list together and realizing it was more chunks than it was a full-fledged thought on what is pet sounds. By the way, I almost made it a rule that Beach Boys could not be played because that is so on the nose.
Oh,
but,
yeah. I
sometimes I'm
couldn't
feeling
do
like
that.
a good
Couldn't do
vibration.
that.
Okay. So what I chose to do was really rip the words apart, pets, and sounds.
Oh, no.
And so what I came up with was actually a list of artists who have had their own or build their own instruments. So it's their pets that create sounds. That's how I decided to do it. Right. So, of
all
course.
All right. We're going on a journey today, folks.
We're kind of going to be going on a journey on mine. Because the first thing I need to do is what I want to do is go ahead and just get guitars out of the way. Because it's kind of an easy, I mean, I hate saying this, but it's kind of an easy thing to invent, you know? Everybody's got their own version of a guitar. And also, I did grab a whole bunch of photos for everybody's instruments. So if you're curious what one looks like, I can theoretically grab it quickly from a file and drop it in so that you can see it. But so like with guitars, I just want to I'm going to say a whole bunch and then I'm going to play you one.
There you go.
But basically, there's like the important people like Bo Diddley. He created the cigar box guitar.
Yeah.
There is, are you familiar with Pat Metheny?
I do know that name.
He's a jazz dude. He's a jazz dude, also prog rocker. He created a thing called the Picasso, Pikasso.
Okay.
Which is like a guitar, but it also has a mandolin neck, and it's just got all these things on it. And it's like, okay, that's cool, but still technically it's a guitar, right?
I got you.
Then not to be, and so it's got 4 different necks, I do believe, on that thing. But then there are the Boredoms, a Japanese band, avant noise type thing, that they have a thing called a Sevena. Which is a guitar that has 7 necks and it sits on a giant stand and is played with drumsticks.
Oh my God.
Very far out.
Yeah, dude.
And then a really cool one is, and I almost chose this for the song and the artist, but then I said, no, there's one step better. But there's Brian May from Queen.
Yeah.
With his guitar called Red Special, that he did build from hand with his father.
Okay.
Because he wanted to design a better guitar. And he's really trippy about it. I have a quote here where he says, designed it from scratch with intent that would have a capability beyond anything out there, more tunable, with a greater range of pitches and sound, better tremolo, and a capability of feeding back through the air in a good way. But then I thought, none of this is actually possible without one of 2 homies. And the homie I chose was Les Paul.
Dude, I was thinking.
Because he's the first person to build a solid body guitar. The first thing he created was called the log. And it was just a 4x4 chunk where the pickups and stuff would sit in, and then he would attach the rest of the body like wings.
Huh.
So it was completely together. This song is called In the Good Old Summertime, featuring Mary Ford.
Okay.
But also, the other cool thing about Les Paul, which everybody, yes, Gibson Les Paul is Les Paul's guitar.
For sure.
He also invented a thing called Sound on Sound, which allowed him to have recorded material on one track of his 4-track, which he had set up in his garage. And then he would be able to plug in his guitar into another track that would allow him to record over that pre-recorded material and have 2 separate tracks. So he kind of, sort of started the ball rolling on
multi-tracking?
Yeah, or just overdubbing in general, which is like,
so
wow.
Like doing like maybe like the Modest Mouse loops on guitar and that type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Am I close enough?
No, not really, but yeah.
Not a guitar player.
It all stems from there. But so I thought, yeah, Les Paul, this seems like the correct guy to just go ahead and sum up the invention of what is the electric guitar, because we have so many different versions of it. Everybody's got an idea on how to do it. But this guy kind of got it started. And yes, for all you Fender Stratocaster fans, we all know Leo Fender also did his. That's cool too.
That's cool.
But I'm a Gibson guy. You put an SG in my hand and I'm in heaven, baby. That's all I know and that's all I care about.
Dude, I always love it when bands combine the two. You know, the sound of the Fender and the sound of the Gibson together. Big fan.
That is the trademark secret sauce to Smashing Pumpkins.
There you go.
Is James Iha on a Gibson through a Fender amp, or back in the old days. Now they use modelers, right. And then Billy on a Strat going through a Marshall, and that's the secret to their tones.
Great
Pretty
tones.
Cool. So okay.
You keeping it going, or you want me to bring some heat?
Bring some heat. Keep it.
Okay.
If we want, I like one for one all the time. I just don't know if it was weird because mine is so
I think this is good because let's just play. Let's play. Let's have fun.
Let's just have fun.
We'll
let the people tell us if this is a bad idea.
Yeah, audience, you will let us know for sure. So, we love our pets, right? But certain animals are cherished. Some would even say treasured. And I want to bring a track to you today from none other than Treasure Mammal. Track is Certain Animals. And I absolutely love this artist. The listener will quickly find out that this artist is quite like the chameleon in that the color might change at any moment to fit any backdrop and scene. And in just this one track, you are going to see many different colors of this reptile, which is Treasure Mammal. So that's a terrible example.
when I don't know how how into the sticks should I get personal lifestyle, because I toured with Treasure Mammal.
Yeah.
And getting to watch his live shows every night when it was just a solo performer.
Yeah.
The first night you're like, whoa, what did we sign up for here?
Right.
Night 2, you're like, dude, what's he gonna do tonight? What is going to happen tonight? What? And then night 3, you're like, oh, brother, I'm fucking raging tonight.
Like, there is no experience like seeing Treasure Mammal live. This is the best way to experience. No performance is ever the same.
Yeah.
What you do know is to expect the max, because he's going to give you 110% every show.
Yep.
And if you just allow yourself, you will have a fantastic time. But it is a presentation that can be striking to some.
Yes, I think that's the key thing, is that what T-Mams does so perfectly is allows the disarmament of like shields, at the show, egos.
That's right.
Like he penetrates that, and it's either like you're gonna join him or you're gonna feel embarrassed, but you're gonna wish you joined him.
You're gonna wish you had done it, because it's so much fun. There's a good chance there might be a conga line.
Dude.
And, you want to be in the conga line.
Fact.
And I can say that as a former participant.
Yeah. My favorite line I still use him. I mean, it's this record, To the Max, right?
Expect the Max, yeah.
Expect the Max. It's still super motivational for me sometimes when I really need it. And he's the whole line about the mountains. When you see mountains, you can move mountains, or something like that.
That's right. You can be the mountain.
So good. Yeah. It's
just like, that's a great way to describe the Treasure Mammal vibe. It is a motivational
Yeah.
experience.
When we started the tour, he had those shoes from Seinfeld that whoever was using to try and jump higher with the discs on the front. And so he would jog in place doing that.
Yeah.
And like all he had was the 404, just like hitting the triggers, changing the riffs. Just like, dude, this is amazing. It's like only what you have to be baked in the Phoenix sun to be able to come up with this.
Yes. How you living, T-Mammal? I don't think the audience is ready for this. Because it's not over, guys. This is just the next color.
I also got to play a anti-Joe Arpaio show because of him in Phoenix at
Nice.
Trunk Space.
Yeah, dude, that's a great spot. I wish I've never been there, but I've seen lots of footage. Oh, dude. This part of
Really?
it- Yeah, I've heard good things about old Trunk Space.
Yeah, it is a blast. The night that we were there, they had a tattooer on site given free tattoos. Everybody's hanging outside.
Yeah.
There was like a tiki bar down the street where you can buy little mini pitchers of beer for $3, and you just drink out of the pitcher. It's a scene, man. It was beautiful. It was a happening, brother.
Yeah. No, I definitely want to make my way out to Phoenix and see my bud Abe. Abe, if you're out there, miss you, homie. Yeah, this is anytime you get a chance to see T-Mammal, it's a must.
Absolutely.
I mean, all alone, he's a dance craze. All right, Schroeder. That was pretty wild, right?
I love it. That's right up my alley, though. That's where I like to live.
Yes, sir.
Maybe it's the ADD in me that just needs constant change.
Constant change. Yes.
Okay. So we still gotta weed out some acts that are inventors, and so there is no shade to be cast upon them. But I can't count the inventions as instruments because to me, they're more like triggers. And so this would be bands that are you familiar with Author and Punisher?
I can't say that I am.
Do you want to see a photo?
Let us see it.
All right. So here's Author and Punisher. This dude, you can kind of tell. I tried really hard to get good photos. Oh, wait, you can't see this.
Describe it to me, Schroeder.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, basically, this dude has built a whole lot of contraptions that really work more like triggers. He does have a cool microphone thing that does like pitch shifting to his voice and such. That looks like a giant grill that sits in front of his face. But he has just these really huge pulleys and levers, and he has spinning wheels. And as he does those, the music gets affected or things turn off and on. But it's still kind of just being, all the stuff is still kind of coming from Ableton, I think. I tried to look into it as best I could. It looks like, so they're like triggers, you know? It's not, so to me, the instrument is still Ableton and his brain, because he did create this music and come up with the choreography to make it happen. But the devices he uses are triggering stuff, not so much creating the sound themselves.
I got you.
And so there's a few others that are kind of like that. I'm surprised you've not seen him. He seems to be pretty big on the social medias. It gets shared a lot.
Totally possible.
There's also another group called Nothing More. This one gets shared on social media a whole bunch because the singer looks like he's standing on the back of a robot, and he'll pull giant levers and stuff like that, which will make the bass guitar or the vocals sound different or the guitar sound different. And so it's kind of the similar idea, right? It's still a trigger. It's making stuff happen.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily making the sound itself. it looks really cool, and I think it really gets them on a lot of festival stuff because it looks really cool.
Because it looks
it's
cool.
it's very metal. It's very like, you know, there's a whole type of, there's so many rock and roll bands that this band could work with. Like having them and then the band with all the drummers with this from Idaho with the masks. That look crazy. Slipknot. You know? Because it's like theatrical.
Yeah.
So, you know, they can really make a festival. Yeah, it's a production and it's cool. But I can't count it, and that's on me. There's also this weird one called Enter Shikari, which is not anything to me, but they created a thing called Sparky, and this is really hip because
Hey, that sounds like a pet name.
Yeah, it's a keyboard, I think, but it's also a 3D printer, a CNC machining, and laser cutting machine, so it can create its own merchandise. And that's on stage. Yeah, so that's like a whole other thing, but I'm like, I don't understand that at all, but that's not really an instrument to me because it's just making product.
That's a small business project. It's what it sounds like.
Exactly. So I had to get rid of them, but I did think all of those cats' inventions, which do have their own merit that I am not trying to disparage upon.
For sure.
I do feel like there was a beginning point for them, and that was with these hip cats. This is Kraftwerk's Antenna. This is off of a record called Radioactivity that during the tour of this album in 1975, the drummer, who is, where's my note here, Wolfgang Fleur, he would stand inside this giant rectangle that had lasers pointing in all these directions. Okay. And he would move his hands through it, and that's how the drums would get triggered.
I feel like I've seen that before somewhere.
Yeah, I really searched hard for a video or an image or something just so I could see it. The closest I got to seeing, because what ended up happening, it was very finicky and it didn't like to work, and there was even a famous show where it just stopped working. And it's what actually led them to creating the drum machines where they're just putting the little metal rods onto the metal plates.
Yeah,
and that's what's creating the. So it's like it pivoted them to a more iconic thing that created all kinds of stuff. But what they were able to do successfully was whenever Jean-Michel Jarre, from 1981 onwards, he used a thing called the laser harp, which was basically the same idea. It looked like a harp, but the lasers were the strings, and he would push his hands through it. Sounds would be made. Super duper hip. But yeah, so basically this cool pet sound making machine only lasted not even an entire tour. Wow. And I wasn't able to find any documentation of it outside of blogs. Okay.
What do you know about the making of this one?
Making of the record?
Of the Kraftwerk.
Nothing. I assume they're not using that laser thing on this song. I am assuming this is probably just programmed drums, synthesizers they've pre-sequenced, and then just, very studio-y.
For sure.
I didn't look into the record so much. It was more about, I'm looking at the pets more than I am
for sure.
the music, I guess.
Yeah. Looking at the toys.
So, yeah, the toys. But yeah, so, pretty hip that these guys kind of got like that whole theatrical, because it's electronic music.
For sure.
It is kind of boring if you're just standing behind a synthesizer turning a knob. Only Devo makes that look good.
Yeah.
Kraftwerk threw a little bit of a little razzmatazz on top. But it failed. But that's okay.
Yeah, totally. No, that's fun stuff. Lasers.
Yeah, they're always enjoyable. But yeah, this is, I think... Oh, I don't want to guess what record it is because I didn't write it down. But everything Kraftwerk is awesome in my opinion. So if you're just wanting... They are motoric, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So if you're just wanting a motoric kind of thing going on, that's the perfect band to do. And that's their story.
Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah.
I came for
I
the
want
lasers.
everything they have. Yeah.
Come for the pets, stay for the lasers.
Yes. All right.
Okay, we're this is just gonna be a pivot. It just is.
It's just a hard. I mean, I hard pivoted us, so let's just hard pivot again.
Let's do it. You know, I am an unashamed fan of a band called Modern Baseball. Right.
American football, modern baseball.
You know how it goes, man. Indie emo band that's broken up and not doing the thing anymore. I'm not going to go into that story, but there is a
Well, I
side
don't know
project.
anything about them.
Oh, one day, Schroeder, one day. But a side project of one of the singers in the band of Modern Baseball, Jake, has a band called Slaughter Beach, Dog, and this track is called Your Cat. And I enjoy it so much. So,
do we know whose
you
cat
may not
he's
be
speaking
familiar
to?
with the Modern Baseball sound and vibe. You know, distorted guitars, more punky, fast. But if the listener is familiar with Modern Baseball and listens to this track, you will absolutely hear that Modern Baseball sound. Those hooks are there and they're tasty. And I really appreciate Jake's writing. It's pretty simple and easy to visualize and relate to in a way. And it somehow like in a way kind of like understated lyrics make the music just hit a little bit harder somehow.
Are these home recordings?
No, but it is self-produced. Well, no, excuse me. No, let me double check. Yeah, self-produced.
Cool.
This band's out of Philly. Great band scene out there for sure.
You know, Philly seems like something's cooking right now. Honestly, I've been not even just in music, but in literature, in other art forms. I've been seeing more stuff popping up from there, and something's going on. Philly's cooking.
Yeah.
Is this recent? Is he now?
This is 2017.
Okay.
But there is more recent music that Slaughter Beach Dog has released. So yeah, definitely an active band now.
Great. Anybody else I would know in the band from other projects?
No, I don't think so. Modern Baseball, great band, but they have kind of a dual singer scenario. One song, it might be predominantly Jake. The other one, it might be Bryn. Sometimes they overlap each other. The last Modern Baseball album actually was, I thought, a really unique idea. The first half of the record is Jake singing, and the second half of the record is Bryn, the lead singer. And
that's a very
big fan of that record.
Yeah. That kind of reminds me of, odd in a weird way, Kiss, where there are albums that are names of the band members because I believe it's like it's their songs. So it's like kind of cool, right? Because you put that on a record, you get an A side and a B side that are from. So is it like a Beatles thing where they kind of collaborate with each other as well, or are they pretty different sounding songs when they're each writing their stuff?
You know, each track is Modern Baseball. Like they're a band. It's just who wrote the lyrics and who's telling the story in a way. Mm-hmm. Their voices are different, but they complement each other well. And it's kind of, there's Alkaline Trio fans. They either like one singer or the other, kind of a scenario.
Yeah.
I enjoy them both.
And I assume that this was one of the singers.
Yeah, that was Jake.
Okay,
on that one.
cool.
Yeah, very cool.
All right.
Cool track. I enjoy it.
All right, so I've pretty much, I feel like I've done a good job of getting rid of the main things, guitars, synth-based trigger systems.
So we're getting
now we're getting
here. Is that what I understand? Am I to understand that, Schroeder?
I would say it's going to get cooler.
Cooler. Let's go like that.
And so who we're going to start off with is none other than the bastard crooner himself. This is Tom Waits. The song is In the Coliseum.
Okay.
And this percussion that you're hearing currently is a thing that he calls the conundrum. It was built by his neighbor and friend, and I will get this name wrong. I believe it's Serge Etienne, but it could be Serge.
I like Serge.
Ettienne. You know, I'm not a scholared man. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But it was built in 1992. It is on the album Bone Machine. What's cool about this whole situation, too, is that this was the album where Tom was sober for the first time in a long time.
Oh, really?
And has been sober ever since. And you could kind of say that this was like a redemption by fire story, this conundrum, because it's basically a giant iron cross that is just completely mounted with percussion instruments that are made out of rusted farming equipment that I presume was his stuff. And the way you play it is by bashing it with everything you got with a hammer. And the joke of it, I guess, it's not a funny joke, but the thing with it is that if it was your job to play this, you were guaranteed to walk away with absolutely busted up knuckles.
Oh.
And there is a great quote here from Tom Waits where he says, "You hit it with a hammer until you just can't hit it anymore. Just really slam it as hard as you can with a hammer." He's like, it's therapeutic. And I'm like, yeah, brother, you're sober. I get it. You're like coming to terms with a lot of stuff. I would probably be in the same boat because, I mean, he was able to drink, among other things. And so, yeah, but then, so yeah, and that's basically the story of this monstrous thing. It's really funny. Again, tried to look for a good photo of it. The only place I could find
Did they take it on the road, or was it just a studio thing?
I think it's a studio thing, because this is also the record where he began really experimenting with using like warehouse spaces for recording, like non-traditional spaces. And it
sounds like it's in a huge room.
Yeah, I mean, it begat the rest of his career kind of as like that avant noise percussionist,
right.
Really simple situations. But I forgot where I was going to go with all that. But yeah, so just to really, when I was trying to look for information on it, the only place I could find anything was actually a library of Tom Waits' instruments that has photos. What? And I clicked on the photo to enlarge, and when it enlarged, it went from this big to this big. And that photo was actually 3 different photos, and so I really could never see the stupid thing. But he did also say it looked like a Chinese torture device. I don't know what that means.
Listener,
he does because he's seen it.
Let that description
do with that
what you will.
Yeah. But it is also featured on a few other songs. I think there's another song called Earth Died Screaming. That's actually the opening track of the album.
Okay.
I think it's on that one as well. But I just like the groove of it because it sounds like a malicious, violent beast of an instrument, but it sounds awesome. Like it's so groovy. Obviously, it's the player as well helping out, but knowing that they're bloodying their knuckles while this swank is getting laid down is kind of awesome to me.
That's awesome. You're going to have to work for this one.
Yeah, you will pay.
I hope you have insurance.
Alrighty.
All right. I have to say, Schroeder and I are both pet owners, so you might know this feeling. Do you ever get onto your animal and they look at you with those eyes? And
you mean like ride it like a donkey?
They're just real wide, and they're just like, what have I done to deserve this?
Yeah.
Here are Pet Shop Boys with What Have I Done to Deserve This?
I see. Give me some hits from these guys, because I know I loved them as a kid. I just don't remember any songs.
Oh, gosh. Aren't they West End Girls? West End
Oh, there we
Girls.
go. Thank you. Love that track.
But yeah.
Oh, what a boy.
This is a jam. Nothing else to be said. But
What do we know about it?
Every time I get on to my animals, when they look at me with those sad eyes, it's just like, I hear it in my head, like, what have I? What have I?
I mean, let's be honest here, though. I would too, because your dogs are tiny little cuddly beasts. So you trying to jump on them and ride them, it sounds horrendously dangerous. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
Come on, man.
Is that what you're talking about?
No.
You know, it's funny. We have, our little animals, I actually didn't even think about this, but they're named Poncho and Lefty after the Townes Van Zandt song Poncho and Lefty, famously covered by Willie Nelson and Merle Haggard,
Yes.
I think. But Poncho has a little bit of a tough time because he's a rescue, bit of an alley dog still, so
Yeah,
he wants to handle business, and he's a Chihuahua Rat Terrier blend.
Yes.
So he stands on business all the time,
24/7.
all the time. It's so but the game that we have to do to make it work is you have to go sit, and then you go good boy, and you love him. So we never. And also, when accidents happen, you don't even have to say anything, and he's already got that.
He's like, oh, I done
He's
messed up
already
now.
Yeah, I'm murdered.
Oh, man. Just a quick note. If you heard the female vocal right here, this is Dusty Springfield singing.
Really?
Yeah. This was recorded at London Studios, yeah?
Do we know what time period this all
Is back
took
in
place?
1987. I was
Gotcha,
a ripe age
okay.
of 8.
I was about to say
But I
that tracks
remember
me.
this track.
That tracks me at 5, which means the biggest hits would have probably seeped through the old cranium.
Oh, yeah.
But this was a single. Did this have an MTV presence?
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
I mean, just hooks on hooks. That's right.
I mean, it definitely makes you want to. It makes you want to have those Studio 54. Is that what it was?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it makes you want to have one of those. It wants you to be in that neon lit, the floor's tiled but lighting up as well, and everybody's got their
Everybody's just
best fucking gear on. Oh
Yes.
one tick.
No, that was a good one. I do remember that hit being dropped as a youth.
Wow, love it.
Still slaps, as the youngins say.
I mean, it immediately took me to a place where I felt I knew everything.
Right.
It's comfortable.
It just feels very
it's
familiar,
nice,
right?
Yeah, very familiar. Okay, so
All right, Schroeder.
what we did with Tom Waits there was brutality at its worst, right? But then on the opposite side of the spectrum, they are very well known for their absolute brutality in performance and sound creation.
Okay.
And I will botch this. Is estrogen ice? I've never been able to say it.
Give it to me. Take your time.
Einstürzend Neubauten.
Okay.
The sound you're hearing right now, and also this is a long song. It's 13 and a half minutes.
Oh,
So
wow.
we're not going to do the whole thing. But what you're hearing right
all
now, this is the thing that they built It is
Okay.
called the Air Cake. And what it is it's a turntable. And then they
Okay.
layered a whole bunch of tin cans, plastic bottles, that type of garbage on top of it in layers.
Okay.
And then as the turntable spins, they blast it with an air compressor so that it creates overtones as the bottles and stuff spin by, right? So you get
Whoa.
this kind of a sound thing happening. But then they're also a very hardcore industrial band. And so you get this stuff. And yes, by the way, they are German. But so this is a band. Oh, actually, yeah, two things. So the way that I got hip to these guys originally was that they did a collaboration with Liars. And Liars,
Yeah.
I don't want to put words in their mouth from that time period, but they were, I feel like, fairly influenced by Eistersund Neubauten.
Okay.
As were a whole bunch of bands. They were like the creme de la creme of that hardcore industrial sound. Because for the longest times, before this record came out, oh yeah, I don't know if I said this, but the Air Cake is on the album Perpetuum Mobile.
Okay.
The song is also called Perpetual Mobile. But what they were known for in their live shows is that they would use industrial equipment like saws and like the things where you're like da, 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 in the ground, and they would just have sheet metal and stuff that they would just hit as hard as they could with those, sending sparks flying. Often projectiles, very dangerous, would be flying at the audience as well from different devices they created. There's a really cool documentary that I really think if you're into industrial type stuff, and also the quite literal genesis, speaking of Lollapalooza, the genesis of an outdoor festival, there is a documentary called Desolation Center, which it's focused around this dude who lives in LA, is an artist, decides that the type of shows he wants to put on, because they're insane, they're intense, like what I've described Neubautens to be. He decided, wouldn't it be a cooler experience if we loaded a whole bunch of people up on a bus, went out into the desert, and we had the performance in the middle of a canyon. And so so basically the documentary follows that process and that actually happening, and it kind of becoming a huge thing to where he flies in Eistersund Neubauten to play it. And it is filled with stories of people putting their lives at the absolute brink of death and somehow surviving, because it's incredible. Everybody should watch it. It's
I'm gonna
called
have to
Desolation
catch this.
Center. But so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and fast forward this as best I can, because there is a really great space in this track later on where you can really hear the device itself.
Okay.
You can hear the air compressor
Let's
and
do
such.
this.
So let's see how lucky I get with this.
I mean, you
There it
can't
is.
get
I
more
nailed it.
industrial than this.
So here it is. And so then the music comes back. It's a trip. So yeah, that is Eistersund now by jeez, dude. It's like I pick things that I know I'm gonna fail at, and then I fail and it's terrible. Eistersund Neubauten, that's as best as I can do. The track and the album, Perpetuum Mobile. The device is called an air cake, and when you are looking at that album's cover, that is the air cake. The picture on the front cover is the air cake. And it's like, oh, wow, it looks like a giant thing of garbage on top of a turntable. And that's what it is. And that's why it's beautiful.
Well, I will do my best to get that spelling right in the track list of the description for our episode.
Yeah, no, I'll have it'll be copy pasted correctly.
Okay, good deal. All right, Schroeder. I've got one that's maybe a little bit more on the vibe that you've been bringing. This is a hip hop track, And I'm sure a band many or a hip hop group that I think many will be familiar with, Run the Jewels.
Oh, dude, I almost did this too. Is this Meow the Jewels?
Yes, it is. With Paw Due Respect, Meow the Jewels by Run the Jewels.
We were, the paths I was trying to go towards are the paths you took. So I'm glad that I decided to really just not. I decided to fall down the mountain.
So if the listener and the viewer don't know, Run the Jewels put out an album and then they turned around and remixed it where the music is filled with cat sounds.
Right.
So if you listen close, that's a cat.
It's all cats. Everything you're hearing besides the vocal is cats. They're just resampled. Big Run the Jewels fan, really big LP fan.
Yes, LP
whenever I discovered him with that track Deep Space 9mm, and was just like, wow, this is the heaviest, coolest thing ever.
And just like,
there
what
he
a
is. Here's
story,
LP.
like they have the Cartoon Network connection, and that's how them coming together and starting to make music. And Run the Jewels have not put out a bad album.
I mean, and there was a point where I was afraid they might, because they put the first 3 plus this out really quick. I want to say in the span of 2 or 3 years.
Fire.
Yeah, but I mean, they were pumping live shows. I was on the newsletter forever, getting all the information. I was hooked. I was like, yes.
Yeah, dude.
Also, a cool thing about LP, the way he got started, he was like 13, 14 years old, and he would make stop tapes. Are you familiar with this?
No.
Stop tapes are a very low rent way that you could make loops to rap over. And so people would hire him to make stop tapes, and it's just a cassette. And so you've got your boom box with 2 things, right? And so you've got the thing you want to sample in deck A, and then you got your blank in deck B. You hit play, you find your sample that you want, you time that so that when you play it, you they're not called stop tape, they're called pause tapes.
Tapes, okay.
Because the B player is actually in record enable but paused. And so as the tape plays, when you hear your loop come up, you take off the pause button, let it play, hit the pause button where you want it to end, rewind, hit play, wait for the thing to come up, unpause, pause it again, rewind, and that way, and you would do that to get 16 bars or 32 bars, however long you needed. And apparently he was like a master at doing these really complex pause tapes that just everybody wanted some.
That's awesome.
There's also a really great video. I forget who put it out. It might have been Noisy, but basically it's a series, and his episode is you follow him into a record store. He buys a couple of different records, takes them back to the studio, starts chopping them up, finding samples, and then makes a song on the fly. And you watch it in almost real time, obviously shortened, but it's 1 day process, maybe 4 hours. So you get to see his keyboard that he uses, and he does everything with it. That's how he samples the cats. He has this keyboard where he can pitch them down and change their length. And a guru. Love that guy. Brooklyn, baby.
Yeah, man. Run the Jewels.
Yeah, for real, always. Okay. So now we have kind of the opposite of these very obnoxious men who need loud, explosive type devices. And what we are going to listen to now is a track called Crystalline by Bjork, off the album Biophilia.
Okay.
And what we will be hearing in this is either the Gamelest or the Celestial. These are 2 instruments that she had commissioned by the UK percussionist Matt Noland and Icelandic organ craftsman Björgen Thomasson. It is a combo of a Celeste and a Balinese gamelan using the tone bars from the gamelan.
What?
And basically, they built the Gameleth and the Celestial in a week and a half, which you could see on the tours.
Wow.
There's a DVD of a live performance where you can watch this, plus there was another device that I forget its name, but it uses these pendulums that start swinging, and it's huge and massive and beautiful, and it creates a sound as well that she sings to.
Wow.
And just a really, obviously it's Bjork, right? So it's like to the tens. It's a full house every time. Like beautiful design, beautiful layout when you look at it on the stage.
Yeah.
Just it's majestic, but also so simple and quiet that it's kind of unnerving because you're like watching these massive things working, but they're beautiful and ornate. Anyway, it's a full-on thrill ride. Another great movie that this is the one that I would recommend. Watch the live show. It's really great. It's beautiful. Start to finish. It's the album. It's awesome. But the one that I would actually recommend to see these devices is called When Bjork Met Attenborough. Okay. And it is basically it's a setup towards the tour. So you get to watch the things being built. And you get to see them go through their process.
Yeah.
And then
That's
you
cool.
see live performance footage as well, but then it is also mixed in with interview sections of Bjork and David Attenborough just talking about the symbiosis of nature and music and creative. And the whole thing, it's beautiful, it's peaceful, it's Bjork. You can't complain. I can't complain about it ever because I'm like, it's innocence at its most profound, I feel like somehow. I don't understand it. But yeah, so I just thought this was a really great thing because it kind of, when you look at the devices, it has the same intensity that like Tom Waits and Estrogen and Neubauten bring with their devices, but it's the antithesis of what those things were designed to do. These are about like peace, healing, the good stuff. And so I thought probably important to like cleanse the air of that male ego bravosity.
Right. Gotta get
or
your
whatever.
aura right, man.
Yeah. Gotta check yourself, brother. But then we got her classic electronic stuff here, which is always great. I don't know who she worked with as the producer on this, so I don't, because she's worked with like Matmos and people like that on previous albums, but I don't know who like created all of these interesting electronics, hickety dickety type things. I forgot to look that part up because I'm about the pets.
It's about to oh goodness.
You ever got do you remember the first time I remember hearing Sigur Rós was that old HBO show where they opened up for Bjork in that church?
It was Reverb was the name of that show.
Thank you. I've been trying to rack my brain looking for any way I could figure it out online.
Reverb
to no avail.
Same.
There we go.
First time I heard Sigur Rós was there, and I just
so
truly
huge.
love that band. One of the best concerts I've ever been to, for sure.
Oh, dude. I will say the funniest thing, I saw Sigur Rós, I think during a South by in Austin when I was still down there. And, they have those epic moments of extreme silence between beats.
Yes.
And it was insane because the whole room of like 2,000 to 3,000 people, boom, were just together in a quiet, beautiful, profound moment. And they hit one of those elongated pauses, and some dipshit way in the back goes, "You suck!"
Oh, shit.
And I mean, it was like, I'm about to go murder someone. I'll
Yeah.
be right back.
Yeah, someone must die.
Yeah. I was like, how do you ruin the mood like that, dude?
Oh my God.
Ugh, the worst.
There will be blood. So, yeah, I'm going to change it up a little bit. Yeah, it's a little punk song for you. From Pet Symmetry. Little play on the word or phrase of pet cemetery.
They
Pet
really did say
Symmetry.
symmetry.
Pet Symmetry, right. And the name of this track, hold on, I'm going to try to get this out in one breath. It is a detailed and poetic physical threat to the person who intentionally vandalized my 1994 Dodge Intrepid behind Kate's apartment. It took 2 breaths.
Wow.
Wow,
I mean,
indeed.
At least now we know what the song is about.
You absolutely...
Yeah.
If I have to explain it to you...
Where do these kids come from?
You know, I'm not sure where these guys are from. Here's how I landed on them.
Yeah.
I'm a big Mineral fan, right? Mineral did a reunion tour. The first go around, the very first show, they played Brooklyn. And the lead singer of this band, Pet Symmetry, is the lead singer of Into It, Over It. And they opened up for Mineral at that show. But I heard this track, it's so catchy, it's so fun. What a great song title.
Pet Symmetry.
Pet Symmetry, man.
That does remind me. So I'm low key, big time Silverchair fan. Not ashamed of it, but I don't talk about it all the time because who wants to talk about that with me? Nobody, because nobody's a Silverchair fan because they're not brave enough to be. But one of my favorite things, because they are Australian, on Neon Ballroom, they have a song where he is singing about a cemetery, but because he has a Australian affectation, it comes out Symmetry. And it's like the most fun to sing along with whenever you're in high school, as I was, and you're just like, yeah, I'm talking Aussie. You know, they have a song where they say petrol instead of gas. It's like, yeah, dude, petrol. How do they spell it? Cemetery?
No, it's Pet Symmetry.
Literally like symmetry. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But dude, catchy, straightforward punk song. Nothing to not like here.
Ooh, good harmony. That low harmony is
dude.
nice.
Yeah, just a little quick punk song for the gang.
Well, speaking of quick, we're not doing that yet again. So we're about to have another semi-long player, but this is where things get. This is where we're like, okay, I hope you took a big breath because we're not coming up for a while.
All right, our audience needs to prepare themselves.
Yeah, I think they do. The hippest kids in the room will know what's up, though, because this is what's up. And what's great is that it also has a fascinatingly long name, but the artist is Harry Parch. The album is actually a compilation. It's called The World of Harry Parch. I'll get into that in a little bit. But the song is called Castor and Pollux, a dance for the twin rhythms of Gemini from the plectra and percussion dances.
Yeah. Hey, and, that was one breath. That's good.
Yeah. Do you want a little bit more volume, or does that feel good to you?
Give it to me a little bit more.
Because here's what's cool about this guy. That's probably good, yeah?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. I knew you'd be a fan of this dude, and here's why you're a fan of this dude. So this came out in 1969, and like I said, it is a compilation. The things that you're hearing right now, he made all of them. Every single instrument you're hearing, he designed, built himself. His most popular one is called I'll find it. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of a different guy. Okay, so yeah, so Harry Parch created instruments called the Kithara 1 and 2. He created the harmonic cannon 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, I want to play the harmonic cannon.
Dude, yeah. Well, the harmonic cannon is like a giant series of zithers, like the ones that you always see in like kung fu movies where they're playing them on their laps and.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like a whole bunch of them, all put together with different microtonal tunings, which I'm about to bring up. But he has another one called.
That's right, gang. He said microtonal tunings.
Yes,
that's where we're headed.
He has another instrument called the Quadrangularis Reversum. He has the Diamond Marimba. This is actually this is the instrument that's kind of the core mapping of his microtonal tuning, which he also developed.
Okay.
There are the Cloud Chamber Bowls, the Spoils of War, the Zymazil, the Chromalodian 1 and 2, and as I said, the microtonal scale he created himself consists of 43 tones. So it's big. He also considered himself a philosophical music man seduced into carpentry.
Whoa.
But, so because his compositions consist of instruments that are designed by him, and he kind of is the only one who really understands how they work, and then you have to teach people how to play them. It was kind of a tough entry point for a lot of people because it was a lot of his contemporaries said it was like too arcane, too complicated, just in general too much. Like this is too much, brother. But we're talking like the 40s, 50s, right? Because this is a compilation of past work. But because of this, I should say, he was always friggin' broke. And I think maybe also tended to kind of drink to bury that woe. And because of that, he was also always ill. Like he had constant bouts of sickness. But 1969, the zeitgeist was kind of cooking of getting freaky deaky weird, like let's get out there. And so people kind of caught on to him because of other artists in a similar vein. They basically, this compilation comes out. People are like, this is hot. Let's start learning about it. This dude shows up and starts making a documentary following him, having him discuss all of his instruments. Things are looking really, really bright for him, right? Like it couldn't go better.
Yeah.
1974 rolls around and, like the ball has started rolling. This documentary looks like it's going to be the thing that just sets it on fire for him. And and he's old at this point, right? Like he's already in his 70s. Dies.
Oh, shit.
I don't think the documentary actually got finished. And so maybe it does exist in some unfinished form, But so he actually never got to experience his popularity. But
when does the flux capacitor come in?
Yeah. But so the collection of instruments post-mortem have been kind of moved around for a while from place to place. Very hip, I learned, and I am really bummed that I'm going to say that I was not hip enough at the time to take part in it. But the full collection of instruments did, in fact, live in Seattle at the University of Washington from 2014 to 2019.
Oh, wow.
So, like, I was here. I was here and I was doing music, and the coolest stuff in the world is 4 miles away.
Right there. But,
maybe 2 miles away. And it bummed me out. But also, I don't know where it is now, but also there have also been some composers who have had replicas made of his devices, including John Schneider, who's made a few of them. And then a complete set was commissioned by the Ensemble Musikfabrik, and they were built by German percussionist Thomas McMiner.
Did
So
you say
that's all
Du
hip.
hast Minor?
Yeah, du hast mich noch wahr. So yeah, that's Harry Parch. You know, a dude
Okay.
who was deemed too far out in his time for his entire life, and then as soon as he had the spoils of war, quite literally, kicked the bucket.
Life will
And
do
so
you that way, will
this
it
is
not?
this. These are all of his instruments. And we'll do a slow fade out now so that you can take us in to your
I got you.
next track. Because
All
again,
right, Schroeder.
all of his compositions are massive. They're very long.
Well, I'll just say from our inaugural episode, I was jealous that you pulled the fast one on me and had a track on there that I don't think was released just quite yet.
Oh, that's I haven't been full of fast one. I just did my job.
But I think a track had been released, and while I was doing my homework for today's episode, I ran across the same scenario and I was like, let's do this. So, Canadian band called Pup.
God bless Canadians.
The album comes out May 2nd. It is titled Who Will Look After the Dogs?
That's the
This
name of the
track
album?
is Get Dumber, and it features Jeff Rosenstock.
Who's Jeff
And it
Rosenstock?
shreds. He's another punk rocker that also shreds. Yeah, I've not had the chance to catch Pup live, but they are one of those bands you want
Pup?
to see live.
Sorry, I was going to ask you what the band was again because I talked over you as you said it. I've seen Pup many times. That's so funny. Yeah.
Do they rip? Because I sound like they rip.
Yeah. They're a great show, man. There's a couple of hip kids used to be in a band called Sleepover Club that I worked with, and they got me hip to them. Also,
Okay.
that band also got me hip to Idols when
Yeah.
they were nothing, and they were playing a small club here in Ballard called Sunset. Maybe fits 100 people.
Wow.
But it was going to be
Idols
a big
in a
deal.
100 cap.
Yeah, but this was like album 1 had not dropped yet.
Wow.
They were coming here to tighten up. You know what I mean? But
I gotcha.
Katie from Sleepover Club. I'm talking about she's ground floor, dude. Knows all. I'm sorry, I said she. It may be they. So forgive me, Katie, if you see this. I do believe Katie is they, them. Anyways, long story short, ground floor knows all of these bands. Yeah, Pup is sick. Very cool.
Yes. And I mean, they put out a few albums now. They all rip. They're all, pedal to the metal. Yeah, good times.
So heavy, dude.
Yeah.
What's the
They
it
are on
makes
my
you
list
wanna
to
do
catch
the,
live because they've just built that reputation of just ripping it up on the stage,
I have to assume they're coming to Dallas, Houston, all the spots that you could get to.
I'm
yeah?
sure they have. I'm sure they have.
You know what it's time for you to do? Road Dog
Tell
it
me.
tour style.
Yeah.
It's time to follow, baby.
Let's go.
Get in the van and ride.
Chase the pup.
All right. Okay. So like I said, 1969, big year. The zeitgeist was hot. The reason why Harry Parch was finally getting noticed was because, I don't want to say specifically because of this guy, but this guy was a kind of a top dog, if you will.
Yeah.
And funny enough, I didn't even realize this. His name is Moondog, and the song is Witch of Endor. I, again, picked this one because of the instruments he's created, which you are hearing as the percussion going on right now. If you would like more volume, I'm happy to supply that.
All good on my end, sir. Let's ride.
And so he did create percussion instruments mainly.
Okay.
The one that you're hearing is his best known one, and it's called the Trimba. What's interesting about him is that the stuff he designed, he's like obsessed with triangles. And so a lot of his drums and a lot of his doodads are in the shape of a triangle formed. They're very beautiful looking pieces. But unlike Harry Partch, who created a microtonal system of his own, wrote sheet music, etc., for his instruments to be played through, Moondog had no actual musical knowledge, and in fact was blind. So just a whole bunch of layers. He started in the 1940s. This is like his maybe fifth or sixth record. It came out in 1969. But anybody interested, go check out Moondog's. He has 2 records from 1953 that really showcase his percussion instruments. Every song is like a minute and a half long, and it's all groove. It's so cool. And so that's kind of what people peaked on him, was that he didn't have any real musical training or knowledge, and he's blind, so he can't like write sheet music or anything. He actually did have a wife who helped him with a lot of stuff like that. But they loved him because of his rhythms. But before we get there, gosh, there's so much about this dude. Look at this. This is my notes on Moondog.
Oh,
it's massive. He's an incredible human being.
Research, my man.
Yeah, I went crazy because I was like, the instrument is all that matters. These are the pets. I must treat them with care. So that's a little bit of Moondog, right? Here's the name of some of his instruments. They are the oo, that's 2 O's. There's the Uyatsu. There's the hus, which is actually Scandinavian for house. Okay. So I'm probably saying it wrong, but it's H-U with an umlaut and an S. The dragon's teeth. Those are triangle percussion instruments that you're hearing as like the bongo conga sound.
Oh, okay.
He has the tuji, the uni, the utsu, the hexagonal drums, and the troubadour harp, which is really like an Irish harp.
It's a harp that he can't
modified.
find because it keeps walking away.
Yeah, it's just running away. Like, I must sing and leave. But so what's very also cool about him is that he only ever had one student, and that student is who is playing the percussion in these pieces. That dude's name is Stefan Lakatos, and was a Swedish percussionist.
Did you say lactose?
It's like Lakatos, Lakatos. Okay. But he's a Swedish percussionist.
All right.
And he's the only person outside of Moondog who knew how to build the instruments because Moondog taught him. And so he did go on to make some past or post-mortem of Moondog.
Oh, okay.
But sadly, Moondog was a poor man. He lived in New York City. He was often found on 6th Avenue between a couple of the 50s, like 51st to 56th, I think.
All right.
And he would be down there playing his instruments. He would be trying to sell the records that he'd made, like just hustling.
Yeah.
Like any blind man would do. You get on the corner and you sling records.
Yes. Yes.
He also got the nickname the Viking of 6th Avenue because there was a period where he wore a non-accurate Viking helmet with horns and like the whole full garb of a Viking outfit with like a spear type deal. Highly worth a Google to lay eyes upon that.
Just to know what that actually looks like.
Yeah. But he only did it for a few years. You know, like I said, the zeitgeist was moving. People were getting freaky and far out.
Yeah.
But also ended up being, according to Philip Glass and Steve Reich, 2 massive composers, Moondog is their major influence. They have said that on the record. This dude made them who they are. So that's really far out. But also, he jammed and was inspired Charlie Parker, Frank Zappa, Igor Stravinsky, and has also hung out on the regular with Lenny Bruce, William S. Burroughs, and Allen Ginsberg.
Oh, wow.
So,
Of the
just
beatnik
like
crowd for sure.
Yeah, just like a G among G's.
Yeah.
One of the coolest dudes. And luckily, because people got hip to Moondog, people also got hip to Harry Parch. So his net positivity actually expanded out onto others. It's quite an incredible human being. And so, yeah, this is, I forget the album name, to be honest with you. But, it's actually called Moondog. It's Moondog. There are 2 albums called Moondog, because that's what Moondog does.
Moondog does what Moondog wants.
That's right. And thus,
and if he wants to dress like a Viking, he can.
Yeah, better believe it. And that is our time with Moondog.
All right, Schroeder, let's get to a track that's quite literally about someone's pet. You might be familiar with the Rhyme Sayers group.
Yep.
Aesop Rock. This is Kirby, which is about the man's cat, which he got as a recommendation from his mental health professional.
Dude, I mean, one thing we have not brought up, because you talked about beating your animals.
Not one. No animals were harmed in the making of this show.
I know. I'm kidding. I make jokes, everyone. That's what pets do best. Is they calm you down. They put you in a zen-like space so that nothing can penetrate you. You know, it's beautiful.
It's fantastic. But yeah,
do we know any details? Was that the cat?
Kirby? Yes, that's the name of the cat.
I just heard a cat go meow.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is a self-produced thing. This is Aesop Rock. I mean, quite literally, a shrink said, "Hey, maybe get a kitten," and he did. He spends some time with the cat, grows to love the cat. I'm like, I gotta make a track about my cat, and it's a killer track, man.
It's cat track.
It's cat track.
That also reminds me of Thundercat, who has a song about his cat and a music video that follows his little kittens like walking around.
Oh man, see, I totally missed that in my research.
Oh, dude, I love Thundercat so much. He's such a cool dude. What year?
This one, it comes in at about 2016, so about 10 years ago now, which is
wow, that's actually even newer than I expected, though, too.
Oh wow. Yeah, it's been around a minute. I did pick this one up for the collection. It's a killer pressing with all the fun that comes with a cool vinyl record and all that stuff. So yeah, maybe get a kitten. I'm just saying, Kirby sounds like a cool cat.
Yeah, facts. I would probably want to hang out with Kirby if I was not allergic to cats.
Are you allergic to cats?
Dude, it's the worst. And now it seems like people like to have cats around. I'm like, oh, I just have to carry around sinus pills, like the allergy pills with me all day. True nerding,
Yep.
All right, well, I had a lot of big hits there. We're actually now on my last song.
Are you on your last song?
I'm on my last one. So, still in 1969 in New York City, because, like I said, the zeitgeist. This is Silver Apples. The track is You and I. And the synthesizers that you're going to hear in this track are actually created by the keyboardist. His name is Simeon, and the keyboard thing he's playing, it's not really a keyboard, I'll get into it, is also called a Simeon because, and there it is, everything that's not drums is this thing, the simian. It was unfortunately named that by the quote-unquote bosses at the record label because they wanted to honor Simian with this great contraption he had made by naming it the Simian, even though they had no right because it's his. So anyway, he's embarrassed by that. But basically, it is a collection of... Listen to this psychoticness.
Whoa. Hold on,
But
folks.
it's a collection of 13 oscillators. And they're in this giant plywood box that he built for them. And he has also more oscillators off to the left-hand side of him. And so he is turning the oscillators constantly to change their tone.
Yeah.
But then with the forearm of his right arm, there are these, like the keys that you press to do Morse code?
Yes.
There's like 8
Just
of
a little
those.
tappy thing.
Yeah, little tappy things. There's 8 of those. And he uses his forearm to hit those to make the sounds come on, right? So like when he hits one of the buttons down, one of those 13 oscillators now makes a sound. Or the sound goes through. He's made the electronic connection of it. And so he's doing that while also at the same time on the ground.
This is a busy man, yo.
He has these pedals on the ground that are on-off buttons, and that's what's creating the bass lines.
Oh.
All of that is also running through a wah-wah pedal and a whole bunch of echoes. And once he's got that all going, he's also the singer. So he's singing this as well.
Yes. Because he didn't have enough shit to do.
Yeah. So he literally, in an interview, he goes, it's quite literally a one-man band with a drummer. Which I think is great. But big time, what's really dope, but this also is 1969, which is just crazy to me.
Really?
Yeah. But also, John Lennon loved this band and even said on a UK, interview show that they were the next big thing. This is the sound of the future. Also, fun fact, LP did, in fact, sample one of Silver Apple's songs for Deep Space 9mm.
No kidding.
I almost picked that one, and now I kind of wish I would have, because it would have been, a connection. But
hey, that's the show. We don't know. Even we don't know what we're going to bring each week.
So yeah, John Lennon loved them. Jimi Hendrix jammed with them as well at his studio multiple times. So recordings exist, but are not out.
Okay.
But also he influenced Beck, Beastie Boys, Stereolab, and most importantly, Jeff Barrow of Portishead and Beak.
There you go.
One of my favorite.
Now that you mention those, it's like I can totally hear that influence.
Yeah.
Now that you mention that.
Yeah. So yeah, hip kids. And that concludes my deep dive into what I consider to be pet sounds.
Okay. All right, Shoda. I've got one more as well.
Beautiful.
So I picked this one. It's a band I truly enjoy. The track is called Nelly, which, sounds like a pet's name.
Yeah.
And the band is
Nelly.
Dr. Dog.
Oh. Yeah. Dr. Dog is Nashville, correct?
Is what?
Dr. Dog's from Nashville, right?
Oof. See, I was thinking more northeast. I don't know quite off the top of my head. Yeah. I know this was pretty much co-produced by the band. They've had a Studio B room. The album cover is literally the door of Studio B. But just, it's warm goodness. There's a hook in here that I truly love. right there.
Mm-hmm. Also, Pie on My Face. They are not from Nashville. They are from, believe it or not, Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. I was thinking I was going to guess. I would have been right, but you know, the folks that are viewing know that we are not quite experts in anything. We are just true music appreciators and love sharing stories and tunes. And Dr. Dog, man, if you're not familiar with their catalog, totally worth exploring. Lots of good tunes. Just got that.
It's like,
I don't know if it was recorded on analog, but it's got that warmth sound to it, you know?
Yeah. That melody that he just does right there, it's almost got that nobody ever really, you know, now I
hear it now that you say that.
Yeah. You know, he skirts it and they cut the music out. It's like, oh wow, he's right on it. Just beautiful.
There. Just there.
But yeah, I was about to say, I love the production of it. The sound is always like the fuzziness of it, you know? You know it's recorded well. Everything they've done is intentional. And it doesn't sound like they just ran everything through a fuzz filter to give it an old school aesthetic. You can tell they probably used, you know, age-appropriate gear to make it happen.
Yeah. Truly love the sound. And just a good, feel-good track, you know?
You mentioned the album cover is the studio door?
Yeah.
Do we know what studio?
It is, I can tell you, it's their own Mount Slippery studio in Philadelphia.
Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah, they're probably sitting on like a 16 track, just having a good time in there.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go Google that after the gig.
Yeah, Mount Slippery.
Everybody sings, it sounds like.
I'm pretty sure this is about a dog, but it's up to the listener's ear and how you interpret it. Whoever Nelly is in your life, reach over and give them a pet.
Nelly sounds like the most adorable, beautiful, like mini poodle. You know, those like little fluffy ones with the pink bows? Just absolutely wholesome and delicious.
Yes, sir.
Well,
all right, Schroeder, those are our tracks.
There it was, baby. We did it. Congratulations to us. Let's take this thing home with a little bit of Diamond Dogs.
Diamond Dogs.
David Bowie.
So,
all right.
As folks know, this is the part of the episode where we spin and the spoon in the old sonic soup and draw the next week's theme.
No, the big brain.
The big brain.
The big brain tells us what we're going to do.
Are you ready for this, Schroeder? I'm not.
I am.
Next theme is Sugar Sweet. Sugar Sweet.
You know I'm about to get filthy.
Yeah. I have a feeling we're going to have to go see the dentist after that episode.
Bro, I just put some candy in my mouth as a celebration of the end.
Let's go.
It's Sugar Sweet. No joking. Next episode, listeners, viewers, come back because it might get NC-17 up in here.
Oh, goodness me, oh my.
Sugar Sweet sounds good to me, baby. All right. Vandy, I had a great time.
Another week.
Can't wait to do it again. In a week, we're going to slowly take over the world, baby. You and me.
That's right.
Ride or die. That's what I say.
Let's go. Saddle up.
Hey, you know what?
Not on your pet.
You're my dog. All right, folks. We'll see you next week. Vandy, say goodbye, and I'm going to say goodbye. Bye.